Hey there, thank you for coming back to another one of my Tokyo Treat unboxing videos. We're going to be reviewing the month of March, which is bento box themed. So I'll show you guys real quick what we're looking at. Here's our snack menu, and as we've done in the past, we're going to do our premium snacks first, and then we're going to review the regular ones, or the classic ones. This month we put together a selection of Japanese food-inspired munchies to make up a snack bento lunchbox for you to try. Ooh, from ramen to melon soda, we wanted to give you the full Japanese food experience, but in snack form. What can we say? We love snacks, obviously. Alright, so some of these, unfortunately, I had already tried and the recording went bad, so it's still going to be a genuine reaction, but it's not going to be my initial reaction. I'm sorry. But to start off, we're going to do the Asahi Melon Cream Soda. Oh god, I love melon stuff. Check out this bad boy. Alright. The most iconic milky Japanese soda. This melon soda has a recognizably fresh flavor that's cut with the sweet, creamy flavor of vanilla ice cream. Chef's kiss. Mwah. So it's basically almost like a root beer float, except with melon. This is amazing, by the way. Oh my god. If you've ever had melon or honeydew boba tea, that's kind of what this tastes like, but just imagine that sprinkled over ice cream, and that's what this soda is. It's super amazing, very sweet, and tastes just like a soda. I don't know, I am a big fan of it. I'm not sure if you guys are a fan of melon. It's definitely sweet, and it does have some tart notes, I don't know, words. But it has some tart notes in it, and it really does contribute to the overall flavor of this soda. This I gave a 10 out of 10 because, again, big fan of melon, and I'm a big soda drinker. I'm trying to be better though. I'm drinking the spiced water. Ugh. Cries. The next treat is actually pretty amazing. I didn't eat all of them, no, I just emptied them out of the bag. It is Kat Peach Parfait. Someone managed to get a whole peach parfait into a Kit Kat. The creamy peach flavor center is sandwiched between crispy wafers and is wrapped in peach-flavored white chocolate. This was pretty good. My initial reaction, the first one that I had, I absolutely loved. But the more that I ate them, the more the flavor became a bit overwhelming. It's one of those snacks that you can have once in a blue moon, but if you eat it too much, the flavor, it just it doesn't taste right. It's like eating too much cheese? I don't know. It almost reminds me of like a peachy ice cream. And the flavor itself, though, is so strong and so sweet. And for me, being that I'm not a big sweet fan, I don't like sweet treats too much. It can be a little bit overpowering, but I imagine if you're a huge fan of peach and chocolate and vanilla and sweets, this is something that you would love. It's not a bad treat. It's definitely tasty. It's just not necessarily something that is a favorite for me. So to be fair, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, even though it's not something I particularly am a huge fan of. But I know any of you other guys out there who are a huge fan of sweets would absolutely go wild for this guy. Up next, we have one that's pretty interesting. Pringles Miso Cup ramen flavor. Ramen lovers, you're in for a treat. Pringles collabs with cup ramen makers Ace Cup for a limited time to create Japan's first miso ramen flavored Pringles. So this is a Japan exclusive, and it's new. This is a new flavor to the Pringles franchise in Japan. I guess it's that's the word I'm looking for. The rich miso ramen flavor is enhanced by plenty of veggies and spices. I think that this is really cool for a Pringles flavor. See, my only gripe with this is that it came broken. Like, they were all broken. So I don't have a full chip. However, the Pringle chips in Japan are considerably smaller than the ones that you see in America. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, portion-wise, it's a bit smaller. So, these things are amazing. Absolutely to die for. It reminds me of ramen, but not the instant ramen noodles you're used to. If you've ever been to a traditional ramen shop and have had miso ramen, that's essentially what these taste like. Like, you can taste the noodles, the vegetables, the broth, You're getting a whole bunch of different flavors mixed into one chip. It has the same consistency as all Pringles have had. If you've tried a Pringle before, you know the texture. The texture the same. The flavor is just really cool. This guy I loved a lot. Super unique. I'm upset that they're not going to be coming to the States. I'm going to see if I can try to order more of these because these might end up being my favorite Pringle flavor ever. So these guys I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. Ooh! So we have one that's pretty interesting. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, but we'll see how these turn out. The next one is Dora Choco. So Pancakes, chocolate. Yes, please. We're into these reinvented Japanese traditional treats called Dorayaki. Oh, okay. Kichi pancakes that are filled with tasty chocolate. So Dorayaki is, they're not massive, like not really big pancakes, but they're relatively beefy. They're about that big. And they're usually stuffed with chocolates or custards and different types of creams. They're really good. So this is just a miniature version of traditional Dorayaki. Oh, he's cute. Look at the pancake. Usually they're stuffed. It's not like it's stuck in between two pancakes. But, that's what it looks like. Ooh, that's really tasty. The chocolate reminds me of Nutella. It's super rich. It definitely has the pancake flavor. Like, it tastes like a pancake. It has the consistency of a pancake. And the inside chocolatey is nice, rich chocolate, but it's not so sweet that it's off-putting. If anything, it's more on the mild side. Like, it's not bitter, but it's not too sweet. This is definitely a treat for anyone who loves pancakes and who loves chocolate. That one was pretty tasty. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. That one was pretty good. Here we have one of my favorites, Poriky, but this is a Poriky that we've had before. I'm pretty sure we've had this one before. Poriky German flavor. Ooh, Poriky are reaping Germany in these tasty Japanese treats. These pretzel sticks have the flavor of yummy German potatoes for a delicious savory snack. I've always wondered what potatoes taste like from other countries, because obviously I've had like American sweet potatoes and regular potatoes here. But what does a traditional Irish potato taste like from Ireland? But anyways, here we go. So this is supposed to be German potatoes. Poriky, if you guys have remember from before, they're pretty much just like these pretzel sticks. I love them. They're so tasty. Wow. I like this a lot. It's hard for me to say it tastes like a German potato because I've never been to Germany and had like a traditional German potato. But compared to the regular like Idaho potatoes I've had, it tastes like potatoes. What I love about Poriky texture-wise is that even though it's a pretzel stick, the outside has a crunch to it, but the inside, the breading, it's not hard and like super crunchy. The crunch is primarily on the outside, but the inside itself is relatively soft, and it gets nice and like mushy in your mouth. It's a really tasty treat texture-wise. The potatoes taste awesome. I have a feeling we've had that before, just had a different description. Could be wrong. But I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He was a really good treat if you're a big fan of pretzel sticks and potatoes. You'll probably love it. Okay. Up next, we have another one that I've tried. Oh god, it's so good. It's Kalbi Osaka Ginger Tempura flavor. I know, that's a mouthful. We're going to Osaka. Red pickled ginger tempura is also known as Osaka's soul food. And when you get to enjoy it in savory and slightly sour potato chip form with these Kalbi treats. Kalbi is a, obviously is a potato chip company. I've seen them do Japanese chips and also Korean. I'm not sure what other countries Kalbi can be found in. But they're absolutely amazing. They make these really cool, unique flavors. It typically has the consistency of like a Lay's potato chip if you've had Lay's potato chips. These guys are amazing flavor-wise. Like, anything pickled I'm a big fan of when it comes to Japanese food. Like, I'm a big fan of pickled plum, especially. Let's see. So ginger tempura. So it's pretty much, if you don't know what tempura is, it's pretty much fried and breaded whatever it is. So this is ginger, and it's fried and breaded ginger. Look at my burp. Oh, so good. Typically, ginger flavors are, if you've had them before, even like ginger candies, they seem a little bit overwhelming or super spicy for no reason. With this, I guess since it's supposed to be a ginger tempura, the ginger itself is actually not bad. Like, you get a slight hint of it, but it mostly tastes like a potato chip. So you can really enjoy the ginger flavor with it being so mild instead of it being like an overpowering type of flavor. But this is really good. I absolutely loved this. This is my first time ever having this one, so I'm happy that it wasn't like a repeat snack. But the Calbee chips, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. If you're a fan of ginger, or if you've had tempura before, you're definitely going to be interested in having this chip. Up next we have this cutie. We've had this cutie before. I'm sure you guys remember it from, I think it was Valentine's of like last year's Tokyo Treat, 2020 Tokyo Treat. But this is caramel corn peach flavor. We're celebrating Girls' Day with a light and crunchy caramel corn. Inside the cool Girls' Day packaging, you'll find a pink and white snacks made with 100% Japan-grown peaches. So it honestly has the consistency of Pirate's Booty, if you're familiar with it. It's a corn puff. It's peach flavored. I don't know why they call it caramel corn because I can't really taste the caramel, but look, it's a heart. They come in pink and white. They melt in your mouth. And this, you can definitely taste the peach. Like, there's no doubt that this is like a peach snack. Here are the puffs. Quite honestly, between this and the ginger tempura, it's like a tie between those two on what my favorite snack of the bag is, because those are like, they're so good. They're quite honestly amazing. So here we have another fun one. It's the Pokemon Choco Corn. We've had something like this before for Halloween. I think for Valentine's Day as well. It's just a chocolate themed like Pokemon treat. These guys honestly remind me of Cocoa Puffs. Not to say that they're bad, but you can easily just open the bag sideways, pour a whole bunch of milk in it, and just eat this like cereal. Even your Pokepals are celebrating Girls' Day. Inside a cute Girls' Day inspired packaging, you'll find a Choco Corn in the shape of a Pikachu. So the packaging is Eevee. I actually have my Gengar one from Halloween pinned up to my collection board over there because Gengar is one of my favorites. Oh, this Pikachu's missing an ear. I'm trying to do a complete Pikachu. Basically, that's what these little guys look like. It's just like the Cocoa Puff cereal. So if you're a fan of it, you'll probably like these treats. For those of you who are not familiar with Cocoa Puffs, it has the texture of any sort of typical cereal you've had, like Fruit Loops, for example, or can I compare it kind of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's just chocolatey. It's just a chocolatey corn puff treat. Tastes like a cereal, but it's really good if you're into that sort of stuff. I can't remember what I've rated it before, but I'm gonna rate it a 9 out of 10 today. It's a lot of fun to snack on. I think I'm gonna save the rest of them and actually use them in cereal, because I'm super curious about what that tastes like. But yeah, if you like chocolate and you're a fan of cereal, you're definitely gonna love those guys, especially because it looks like Pikachu, so why not? Especially if you're a Poke fan, you're gonna love it. I always get kind of pressed when I see these, just because it's reject ramen noodles is basically what it is. It's ramen noodles that weren't good enough to become ramen. But these are Yakisoba Taru. You're getting more noodle goodness with these crunchy yakisoba inspired snacks. Want to try them in a new way? Try adding a bit of hot water to them. Yeah, we get these in almost every box. And as I've said before, it basically just tastes like dried ramen noodles. That's what it is. If you give them a taste, it has the chicken flavor. It's super crunchy. It's not gross. It's just nothing to be excited over. I mean, this isn't a snack that I would seek out. If it came with, obviously, this treat pack, then I'll eat it because it's there. But I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, where are those Yakisoba Taru snacks? Where are the crunchy ramen noodles, because for that I would just buy a pack of ramen noodles and just eat them raw, which you can do, by the way. Oops. I'm dropping them everywhere. Disgusting. It's crunchy, chicken flavored, dried ramen noodles. Nothing that special. It's just a little on the salty side. So I'm going to end up giving it a 7 out of 10. Up next, we have one of my absolute favorites. I'm a huge fan of umaibos. We've had this flavor before. This is the tonkatsu umaibo. I think this is one of the first ones I've ever had. But, so this is umaibo's most iconic flavor. Sweet and spicy tonkatsu pork cutlet. Sauce flavor of this crunchy corn snack will have you drooling. Oh, it's a pork cutlet flavor. Nice. So basically, if you haven't seen my past videos, this guy looks like a hollowed out Cheeto Puff. It's just a long stick, hollowed out Cheeto Puff. Has the consistency of a Cheeto Puff. They're really good and fun. Some of the sweet flavors have also surprised me because these aren't just savory, these can also be sweet, but obviously this one's a pork cutlet, so it's going to be more savory. You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? That crunch. Nom 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 nom. Anyways. Yeah, this hands down has been one of my favorites. The flavor itself is amazing. The consistency is a lot of fun. It's a fun snack through texture and through taste. I've always given all of these a 10 out of 10, and that's definitely not going to change with this one. So this I was excited to try. It's the Melon Pandaro. We've had Pandaro before. It's essentially a giant panna cookie that always comes to me broken. I've never had a complete one. But this is melon flavored. So, need more melon goodness in your life? Leave it to us. Your Pandaro cookie is a crunchy, sweet snack with a fresh melon flavor to get you in the spring mood. So this should be interesting, because this one I definitely haven't tried before. Is it almost full? Oh, no, he's broken. Darn it. See, we got an ear over here. Ear and half a face. That's so good. Oh my god, I love him. With the Pandaro cookies, they're very vanilla-y and creamy. Like, it slowly dissolves into your mouth, and it adds so much to the snacking experience. The melon flavor is executed so perfectly. It's not obnoxiously sweet or overpowering. It has aftertaste of vanilla, but it starts off with the melony. Like, oh, this one's so good. This guy's definitely gonna get a 10 out of 10 from me. You guys have seen this cutie before. This is the Dondon Yaki sauce flavor. We've had these before. These are pretty much like the mochi crackers. The saucy and sweet goodness of these mini Dondon Yaki crackers is so good that you won't be able to stop munching. So these are kind of just rice puffs. I don't know what Dondon Yaki is supposed to taste like. So I imagine these are like the mochi ones that we've tried before, except these are flavored. Meanwhile, the mochi ones are just plain rice. But it kind of looks like the same pieces. But yeah, I guess I have to look up what Dondon Yaki is. That's interesting. Okay. I see you. So texture-wise, it's the same as the mochi ones we've had in the past, which is just like a normal corn puff. It tastes, texture-wise, kind of similarly to the Cocoa Puff cereal or other cereals that we were talking about. The Dondon Yaki flavor is very interesting, though. It reminds me of a combination of like soy sauce and miso soup, if that makes any sense. Like, it tastes like it's a soup base. I could probably be completely off because I don't know what Dondon Yaki is. That's kind of what it tastes like to me. These are definitely tasty. It's a nice texture experience, and like the booklet says, I kind of don't want to stop eating them, but I know for the sake of the video, I have to continue on to try the other delicious snacks we have prepared. So, ooh, I just want to keep eating that. Here we have our very cute little friend Daifuku. So we've had Daifuku before. We've had strawberry. We've had like, what other flavors? Chocolate. So this is just pudding Daifuku. Ready for a surprise in your bento. Inside this fluffy marshmallow is a sweet and creamy pudding filling. Backed by popular demand, it'll leave you hungry for more. Also, I guess this was a fan favorite. Daifuku is a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of marshmallow treats, but the marshmallow itself is pretty soft, and then the inside, you guys have seen this before, is this beautiful cream filling. It's a nice contrast in texture between the marshmallow and the cream filling, and even more so in the flavor. I'm sure most of us know what marshmallow tastes like. If you don't, the best way I can describe it is fluffy vanilla-y type of stuff. The cream itself is almost like a Nutella paste, but not in flavor, just in texture. It tastes like vanilla, pretty much, just like a vanilla sugar. These little guys are amazing. I've loved having them before. And the pudding Daifuku, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. This snack is a lot of fun. It's called Texas Corn Okonomiyaki. I'm not sure if any of you guys have had Okonomiyaki before, but it's essentially this really tasty cabbage dish. I don't know how else to explain it. I've had it before at like local food stands. It's been quite some time since I've last had traditional Japanese food because of COVID and stuff. I haven't been able to go out much, but cannot wait till I can go back to the beautiful Japanese restaurants in my city and eat them. Not eat the restaurants. Eat the food at the restaurants. Oops. Anyways, so what happens when Texas meets Japan? These awesome corn treats. Snack down on these light and crunchy treats with the flavor of rich and sweet Okonomiyaki sauce. So these guys are pretty cute. I don't know how it's Texas, maybe because Texas barbecue and okonomiyaki is kind of like a barbecue thing. I don't know. Yeah, excuse me. But it's a corn puff, pretty much. It reminds me of Puffy Cheetos, texture-wise. So, if you've had okonomiyaki before, it absolutely tastes like the dish. For those of you who haven't had it, it's kind of hard to explain because okonomiyaki has a very specific, distinct sauce, and it's not one of those things that you can necessarily describe. Like, you can't describe what an orange tastes like. Like, an orange tastes like an orange. Like, at most you can say it's tart, if anything. But the closest thing I can relate it to is like a mix of barbecue sauce and soy sauce and maybe some onions. Sounds like a really weird combination, but that's kind of what this stuff tastes like. These little crunchy puffs are amazing. They're super addicting. And I can eat them all day. This guy's gonna be a 10 out of 10 from me. Definitely a lot of fun to any snacking experience. Here we have this little cutie, taro beans. We've had these before. Do you know about the legend of Momotaro, the Peach Boy? Give it a read while you're munching on these super delicious and crunchy mini crackers. The packaging was inspired by the story. That doesn't tell me anything about this snack. Is it here? Can I read it? I don't know if they have the story here in the booklet, or if I just have to, I might have to look them up. Oh, well. Anyways, these are just like a little corn puff pastry. Snack. It's not a pastry, it's not sweet. Flavor-wise, it honestly just tastes like a soy sauce soaked rice cracker. They're pretty good. Tiny, cute little treat. Very savory, lots of flavor, super crunchy, and also very addicting. Anytime that I've had these in one of my snack boxes, I just devour them in one go because they're just so freaking good. But those guys are going to get a 10 out of 10. Second to last treat, we have the Baby Kaki Mochi. A treat for both kids and grown-ups alike, these salty and fluffy rice cracker treats make the perfect addition to any bento box. So it didn't say anything about a specific flavor. And since it didn't say anything about a specific flavor, I'm imagining they're relatively plain. Although, I'm seeing some green on here. Usually if you got green flakes on anything, it's going to be seaweed. I was right. If you see a Japanese snack and you see green, just assume it's seaweed or scallions. It really does taste like a rice cake. It's a fluffy rice cake It's pretty much what these guys look like, coated with seaweed paper. I'm not sure if you're familiar with sushi, if you have had it, or if you've had just seaweed paper to snack on, because that does exist. That's essentially what it tastes like flavor-wise. These are really good. I can't stop eating them. I personally am a big fan of seaweed, so I really do like this treat. If you're a fan of seaweed, and I guess just the flavor of plain rice, then you'll probably like this. It's definitely a more, I guess, basic or traditional chip flavor, because for me, or at least in my experience, what I have seen, it's usually just a plain white rice treat that's salted, or it has the seaweed on it. So that's kind of like a staple for a lot of Japanese treats, but this is pretty good. I'm gonna have to give him a 10 out of 10. Last but not least, we have this guy with some pretty interesting packaging. Spicy Japanese grain crackers. Rounding off our snack bento with something spicy. These spicy Japanese grain crackers are the perfect bento addition for a crunchy, spicy kick. Ooh. Doesn't smell like anything at all. Oh, now I smell something. Oh, I know what these are. Yep. I taste that spice. Whew, that's the spice. If you've ever had an Asian or Oriental mix from like Target or Walmart or your local grocery store, where it has like the sesame sticks and the wasabi pieces, like that cheap American mix that people love. These are basically pieces that you would find from that mix, probably better quality than the ones you find in those mixes. It just has a soy sauce and spice flavor. It has a nice crunch to it. It's not painfully crunchy. You ever have those snacks that you bite into and you're just like, this isn't one of those things. Whew. Definitely has a kick to it. You don't get the kick until afterwards, like when the piece is gone. This little snack has disappeared from your mouth and down your gullet. That's when you start tasting the spice. Whew. Definitely tasty. I'm sure a lot of you have had something similar to this before if you've had those snack mixes before. Definitely not a bad guy, especially if you're a big fan of spice. You're gonna love this guy. Not a big fan of it because I don't particularly care for spice too much. However, this one isn't terrible. I'm gonna have to give him an 8 out of 10. Alright, and with that we have cleared off our entire March box. I have to say, overall, one of my favorites will have to be the melon soda and the peach caramel corn puffs. These two definitely take the cake. This melon soda just really blew me away. Usually when I get sodas from Japan, they just taste so good because they're very different from what I'm used to. Sometimes, especially the ones made by, let's say, like Welch, they have actual fruit puree in them, which is a lot of fun. So they usually impress me. This box as a whole wasn't too bad. Honestly, with all of the boxes that I've tried, nothing so far has topped my first box. I can't tell if that's because it was my first box or if it's because it was the theme. Because February of last year, of 2020, they had the most amazing box ever. And I don't recall filming. I don't think I started filming until later on in the year. But that box was anime themed, and it had One Piece and Naruto. They even had Splatoon stuff. Like, it was just so cool. But besides that, you know, the snacks aren't terrible. I'm happy that I'm getting some of my favorites. I'm really happy that the Kit Kats are not repeats, so each time that I've gotten a box, I've gotten a completely different flavor of Kit Kat, which I thought is a really cool experience. This box is definitely a lot of fun to try. If you're interested, just go to TokyoTreat.com. They have premium boxes and classic boxes. So the first 5 snacks that we tried are the ones that come with the premium. The classics are everything else. I definitely think that the premium is worth it because it's essentially $5 more. So each of these snacks equates to $1. which isn't bad, especially for something like this massive Kit Kat bag. If you go into a store and try to buy it, you can probably find it for like $6 or $7. So premium boxes are definitely worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed the snacking experience with me, and I hope you guys have the opportunity to try this stuff out for yourself. Please do. Please be sure to check Tokyo Treat out and give their stuff a try. If you enjoyed this video though, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and check out my other unboxings. Even if you've missed a box, what's really cool is that if you go onto their website, you can still order the snacks individually. So definitely give this stuff out a try. If you have any local like Korean markets or Japanese markets where you live, you can probably check out them too to see if they have the snacks there. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you get to enjoy your own delicious snacking experience and not just live vicariously through me, because you're missing out on some really good stuff. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Please be sure to check out my other stuff as well as my other social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. I'll see you guys around. Thank you. Bye.